Welcome back. Let's return to some of our top stories. A lot of political machinations once more. And the ANC says it's not going on a witch hunt, but it will discipline MPs who publicly said that they voted with the opposition in that vote of no confidence against President Jacob Zuma. And then we have Minister Faith Muthambi not appearing before a committee in Parliament that was to probe with her the reasons behind public spending that we hear about jobs for family members and R500,000 to transport family members and friends to Cape Town, reportedly. Well, political analyst Elvis Masoko joins us for more on these and other developments. He's from our studio in Polokwane. Thank you for being with us, Elvis. Firstly, Faith Muthambi, she was in Cape Town. No explanation yet. Is this a blatant snub of Parliament?
Good evening to you and all the viewers of SABC News. Let me begin as a preface to say that a trend, and a very endemic trend, has been established within our national bureaucracy, whereby cabinet ministers and other senior, government leaders can just waste and squander taxpayers' money willy-nilly and with great impunity. Because if you realize there's been an established trend, especially in the last 5 or 6 years, whereby cabinet ministers and leaders who are associated with the president can do as they wish because there won't be any consequences. So I'm not even surprised with regard to the reports linking Minister Faith Muthambi to gross, wastage of taxpayers' money. And I still believe that, no consequence will be effected against her because she seemed to be aligned to the powerful, leader in the country. So it's an endemic trend that is there.
The committee headed by Makhosi Khoza wants to summons her and make her pay back the money if necessary. So you're saying that's unlikely to happen. We're not seeing that sort of redress often. Elvis, if you can hear me, what about what can be done? Let's try again. If they summons her and even if they get her to pay costs, what can be done to a minister who seems to really disrespect Parliament?
There's an interjecting voice in what you are saying. It's like somebody is saying something over what you are saying, so I'm not quite sure. I can hear you, but again, there's another person, interjecting, saying some of the things that I'm not sure whether I should reply to those things or your question. So can we clarify the audio
Elvis,
first?
We have some technical interference. I'll wait for my team to hear if we should continue. Let's try once more, and I'll ask anybody who can be heard to keep quiet. What actions can be taken against a minister, is my question, who seems to disrespect Parliament?
Yeah, but what I've realized and what I've come to believe is that no matter how much the public might be outraged, against what the minister has done, but there won't be any visible punitive consequences because she enjoys the support of the powerful, politician in the country, the president. You saw in the previous, cabinet reshuffle, many South Africans thought that, the likes of Minister Faith Muthambi and Bathabile Dlamini will face, the chop. But it didn't happen because they enjoy the audience, the support and loyalty of the President of the Republic of South Africa. So the same will apply. Portfolio committees, in Parliament will summon her to come. As usual, she will never come. It's not for the first time. She decided to undermine Portfolio Committee of Parliament. Even by the time she was still a communication minister, she will be summoned to Parliament, but she will never come. Including even some of the meetings that were called by Lituli House. Summoning her to come to the Little House, she'll never come. And there's nothing that can happen to her because she's supported by the powerful politician in the country. So yes, we can say much about consequence management, but unfortunately, those who are associated with President Jacob Zuma will never be subjected to any disciplinary measure or any consequence management. That's what I've observed as an analyst.
Well, talking about consequences, what about the MPs who voted with the opposition and then admitted it publicly? The ANC says they will be disciplined, but we have a Constitutional Court judgment which suggested that MPs should be allowed to vote with their conscience in matters like this. Do you think this is going to play out in the courts even?
There's one thing that we must make it quite very clear as South Africans, that the Constitution of the Republic of South Africa is more superior to all the other constitutions of political parties. The Constitution of the ANC is not superior to the Constitution of the Republic of South Africa. And you remember on the 7th of August, Speaker of Parliament, Baleka Mbete, while she was speaking to the nation in relation to a decision, she mentioned that it will be the constitutional right of members of parliament to cast a secret vote. So that was constitutional and protected by the supreme law of the country. So I don't understand this, unnecessary political foolishness on the part of ANC leaders to try to hunt for members of parliament who voted against Zuma. How can you hunt for a person who voted secretly under the protection of the Constitution? The ANC leaders must stop wasting their time because they will never know who voted for President Jacob Zuma or against Jacob Zuma. The same applies to, for example, Julius Malema or Mmusi Maimane. We don't have evidence as to how did they vote. Nobody knows how the members of parliament voted because it was their secret vote. They voted secretly under the protection of the Constitution. So I don't understand why ANC leaders will try to undermine the Constitution of the Republic of South Africa by seeking to harass those who acted constitutionally. And I agree with, Professor Mathole Motshekga when he says that members of parliament were guided by their conscience when they were voting because it was a secret vote. So the ANC must stop, chasing after people because you will never know who voted for President Jacob Zuma, who did not. So it's a waste of time.
All right. Thank you so much, political analyst Elvis Masokga, joining us from our studio in Polokwane. Let's just clarify, the ANC has made it clear that it will only go after MPs who publicly confirmed that they voted with the opposition. But again, perhaps problematically, they are taking action, perhaps based on their constitution, but the Constitutional Court ruling still suggesting that MPs should vote with their consciences. We'll follow that and see how it plays out.